My name is Leannie and I identify as female. Yes, since 3 years I'm 24/7, so full-time out. And there was a period when I started my new job 3 years ago. I had to step back clothes-wise a little bit gender neutral because of the probationary period, but yeah, full-time out. So 3 years ago I relocated from Germany here to the UK. Originally I was born in Germany, and due to some private interest I came over here in the region of Newcastle upon Tyne. I like this coastal area, and the people there are very open, welcoming, and aside of the language, I just felt at home. It's very similar to the area where I lived at last in Germany, so yeah. Making friends here in the UK is a little bit difficult. Also, what you do with friends here in the UK. In Germany, it's quite common to meet at the flat or at the house of your friends, going over to them, or they come over to you. And here in the UK, it is very common to meet at pubs, which is nice. It started originally when I joined a support group in Newcastle, and then it evaluated to some private activities, going out. We have a weekly meeting, and afterwards we went to a pub, and friends of friends. So it took a while, but I have a handful of people, and the people I'm really close to I get to know over social media, Facebook, and yeah, this is quite interesting to get in contact with people over social media. It's different from real life, yes, but it is nice also to meet these people. Special events, for example, like Leeds First Friday. That's quite nice. These events are really something special for me. The whole part of the makeover is something special for me. The background is I have a medical condition for my skin, and since the beginning of this year I'm getting the facial hair removal, combination of electrolysis and laser therapy. So my skin is quite often irritated, so I can rarely wear makeover. So it is something special. I think, yeah, nearly 1 year ago, I got my first makeover done here at Bonn. It was also a starting point, getting to know the people here in the Manchester area. The community here is really quite big, and some sort of friendship grow out of this. And so I never had any professional photo shoots before, also not professional makeovers done. And so this was really something very, missing the word, but yeah, some sort of birthday, Christmas, so really something special. And aside of the great locations, I was able to join the cathedral shoot in January this year. This was really a great venue. The second one was the Woolton Hall photo shoot in Liverpool, and especially the last one, nice people, nice makeover artists, Paul and Vic, and wow, sunny day. For me, it was also something special. I had to go back to Germany to sort out some private things, and it was really great. It gave me the power and set my mind in the right condition to do so, and getting the pictures, lots nice memories, and yeah, cannot wait for the next one. Happy time in my life. That's a little bit difficult. The last years I was living in Germany, they were quite hard. My ex-partner cheated on me. So in the end, my complete life got destroyed. It was also at the same time when I started to realize that I'm trans. I was never this type of person which was claiming I'm born in the wrong body. For me, it was always the inner balance for me wasn't there. And somehow I felt a little bit different, and always these tensioning things, unsure about. And when the time in Germany came to an end, I moved over here to the UK, and I was able to move into a flat from a very good friend I know from former times. And it was a new start, also in a new type of life. And when things pointed out more and more that I'm trans, thinking about it, getting help from support groups, from friends, it was a little bit of a small shock for me at the very first time, but also had a load of questions during my former life I get never any answer on. And suddenly, when I can explain it like a picture, the jigsaw set itself together. And thinking about what can I do now, what should I do, what do I want to do, it was no question for me at all to start the transition. I remember the day when I finally took the decision, and since then I got this inner balance I was missing in my former life. And since then it feels like life. I was doing the decisions for me. not living to the expectations the other people set in me. And it was the first time in my life when it really felt like a life, and I was happy to do things for me, because I was always there for other people. Of course, I had I would say challenges, not problems, challenges. Everyone has when it comes to start the transition. When I remember the first time I went out in a skirt and a dress, oh my god! But yeah, it was scary somehow, but also I was proud, and in combination, getting to know Paul here from Bonn, getting the makeover lessons and seeing the fabulous results, the possibilities, it was definitely a massive confidence booster, and things are constantly changing since then, but in a positive way. And yeah, since then, even if I have some setbacks from time to time, which is quite normal, I'm happy. Sometimes the way trans people are portrayed on the media is, I would say, borderline, because trans people are portrayed in a certain way, and I'm not a weirdo, I'm not a fetish thingy. I'm a little bit missing the right words to explain it, but being trans and starting my transition a couple of years ago, and it's such a long-lasting process, 7, 8, 9 years. For me, it is just living a normal life, and rarely, in my opinion, the media are portraying trans people just with their normal life. And especially over the last year and this year, there is a certain way how trans people are portrayed from certain newspapers. I don't really like it, this discussion, yes or no, and it's difficult for me. Mostly I see and watch these people over the internet, YouTube, Facebook, maybe Instagram. There, having the people there, getting information, getting help. This is very important for me. And when I started my transition, that was also the way how I get to know you. Just research on the internet, and it is quite helpful. These events like Leeds First Friday are very important. It is still the case that not everyone is welcoming to trans people. Some people have a really simple mindset, if I'm allowed to say it in this way. We people from the LGBT spectrum are just normal people. We would like to go out, we would like to meet our friends, we would like to have our activities. It is really something very special in Leeds with this First Friday event, because you have the Angels of Freedom, which are giving you some sort of security. The police is there, the private security on the show bars and on the pubs, and you can really have a lovely night out. You can have fun, you can dance, you can chat with same-minded people. It is also nice that you can meet people you are normally just in contact over Facebook. And it's lovely to meet the people there and having a good time. As I said before, makeover and makeup is something special for me. In my personal opinion, makeover is something like a frame for a nice picture. The content is the picture itself, so the person like me, and the makeover helps to present this picture, so me. When I got my first makeover, and I was lucky to get my first makeover done in some sort of makeover lesson, and it was amazing to see which possibilities are given. Sooner or later, it is the question you ask yourself, this clocking passable thingy. And of course, makeover can help. For me, it was a self-confidence booster. It is also a little bit of expression of your own mindset, of your feeling. I assume some people also use makeover for covering bits and pieces, but I don't see makeover for me in this way. For me, it's just something special, like a nice pair of shoes, a nice dress. Yeah, it's also some sort of pampering when you get the makeover done. You just have to sit down, you just have to relax. And after a while, when you take the first look in the mirror and see the result, it's just like today. Wow, wow, wow. And it's for me, it's really some sort of art, and the creativity behind. Yes, it's amazing. It's fantastic. Still need a lot of practicing to do a proper makeover on my own. But it is also some sort of you get in touch with yourself. You get to know the little bits and pieces from your face. This looks not so nice, and I can cover this a little bit, and yeah, it's quite interesting what you can do with makeover. So it's really, for me, it's something very special, and I love it. Yeah, I really love it. Yes, yes. The very first thing I would give as an advice: take your time. Take your time. A transition is not done within a couple of weeks or half a year or a year. It is a long-lasting process, nearly 10 years with everything. Depends if you go for reassignment surgery or not. If I look back on my last 3 years, over 3 years now, and if I compare it to the transition from friends, other members of the support group I'm in, there's some sort of pattern. after the coming out, and I don't really like this wording, coming out. I rather tend to say disclosure of former life. You're really on a high. You're starting some sort of experimenting with clothes, with makeover, and you have to be very careful not to exaggerate. There are, at least it was for me, there are these highs and lows, but the balance was a little bit missing. It is some sort of process which needs time. So you have to take the time. And everyone should set his own time frame. I was in the lucky position that I had some sort of protection on my workplace. Many people are unfortunately not able to be openly out at work, which is also very, very difficult for them. If I think about this, this wouldn't be an option for me. But on the other hand, you have your living costs, you have to pay your bills, you have to work. I was in the lucky position that I had many supporting colleagues. All of them, the feedback in the company was 100% perfect. Never had any issues. Being friended and having good colleagues. If you're open, you can ask for advice, also for help. Just normal things. How should I do this? Can you give me help on that? It's a learning process, an ongoing learning process. And for trans people, it is harder because I have to learn and to practice and to live things in a shorter time period. For example, other people had 20, 30 years. It is easier, and it happened also to me, that I put too many stress on myself. On top, I'm tending to be some sort of perfectionist, which isn't helpful at all. So sometimes it's good to step back, breathe, maybe starting new. It's nice to get some advice, and if you have someone you are close with, it helps if you have questions, self-doubts, getting desperate. I think after 2 years, maybe it's not the right word, but I some sort of settled in my transition, and things are becoming quite normal. As I said, the first time I went out in a skirt or in a dress, oh my God, I really felt like everyone was looking and staring at me, and today it's normal. Of course, I also would like to go for the medical transition. So this means facial hair removal, hormone therapy, and of course it will be the last bit, gender reassignment surgery. And it is a thing, if you are not rich, you cannot do it on your own. You need help from specialists, voice therapy, which is a thing also for me. I have to do this. And unfortunately, the situation with the NHS here in the UK is difficult. Some sort of lack of specialists. It is a question, like in many other parts of the life, money. And the services the NHS offers, they are great. But the NHS, unfortunately, is, when it comes to trans people, underfunded. It's just odd to wait this long time until something happens. And the service itself, I had recently my first appointment. The people are great. They're helpful. So far, this is just positive. But the waiting time for me was over 2 years. I was supposed to be seen earlier, and my first appointment got 2 times delayed when I got the notification that I won't be seen at the date which was planned. Yeah, it is some sort of catastrophe, because this is some sort of the end of the tunnel. It is something you are living for. And when someone just switches it off, I felt myself like switched off, like an unwanted toy a child throws under his bed, or a leftover card box which was intentionally left with a house move in the old house. And these were really the hard times, and if I wouldn't have had some help, advice, I don't know how I would have been able to get over these times. For me, on my own, it wouldn't have been possible. Of course, I have to get over it, but it was just this feeling, nothing moves on, nothing happens. I never had any mental health issues. There were really times when I felt some sort of worthless, misplaced in the world, not loved. Yeah, I felt unwanted. And it is a well-known fact that the suicide rate under trans people is nearly up to 50%. I never had any suicidal thoughts or intention to end up my life. But on the other hand, I also have to, if I'm honest, I had the thoughts when my life would come to an end. Right now, it wouldn't matter. Nobody would miss me. It's very challenging. You need help. You need help in these times. When you are having the support groups, it's definitely a part of your transition you need. And this should be also something the NHS should offer. They offer some sort of counseling, but you have to be in the process. And the process is, you have the first appointment, some sort of assessment, and unfortunately then not noticeable for yourself. Nothing happens. The specialists are discussing your case, and again, it just takes time. So they already told me that my second appointment will be in another year, at least another year. And the tendency is more likely that it might be also 1.5 years. Full access to the services just starts after the second appointment. There is again this feeling, oh, now I was activated for a very short time, and step back in the queue and wait and wait and wait and wait. I'm in the lucky position that I can do some things private. So I started the facial hair removal I will start the voice therapy, which is quite important for me because my job is on the phone. And if you get misgendered 30, 40 times a day, always trying to explain, no, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. Well, you get used to it, but on the other hand, you don't want to explain your exact situation to everyone. The way how the NHS deals with trans people should be changed somehow. Trying to make some changes, but it takes time. And if I consider my age, do I have the time or not?